Hello and welcome back to the channel Lifestyle Designs for Teresa. Today I am creating a wreath, a swag for my front door for the spring Easter season. I will be using this garland that I had from Christmas. I'll use part of it. I had a piece left, some purple deco mesh, and lots of ribbon that I already had on hand. I brought that to the table so that I could have a selection of what I would like to use. So now what you're going to see me doing here is I am just fluffing out the garland. It was already fluffed out some, but I wanted to go ahead and fluff it out some more. I had originally fluffed it out during the Christmas season to use it, but I decided to keep part of it to use for another project. And of course, as you see, I will be using it to make a spring swag. Something simple that you can do easy. I'm using the things that I already have around the house, ribbon, deco mesh that I already have around the house. I will also be using Chanel stems as well as a zip tie. And then as I go along, I'll explain to you how I created this simple wreath. Now, first what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to open up my deco mesh. This is 10 yards, 10 inches wide. And I am going to go ahead and I'll be doing a ruffle method throughout the garland. I'm just pinching it and I'm going to start off from the end. Now, because this is for my door, I'm not doing any measurements, but I will say that the poofs, I will be doing poofs. The poofs will be about 10 inches. So, like I said, since this is for my door area, I'm not measuring it. But you can pretty much look and see that it's about 10 inches. If you do it enough, you'll know pretty much, the poof. So if you want to try this particular style wreath, then I would suggest using 10 to 12 inches poof. You don't have to have anything relevant. You can use a ruler to measure the inches of the deco mesh. You don't have to go out and purchase anything. You can absolutely use a ruler and it will work perfect because the standard ruler goes up 12 inches and you can do your poofs at 10 or 12 inches. So what I do is what you're seeing me do here. As I do the poofs, I'm going along and I am fluffing them out so that I won't have to come back and do them at the end. Now, there are times that I do come back at the end and I go through my poofs again if I feel like they are not puffed out enough. But as you see, I'm using to do these puffs with the deco mesh. I am just using the garland to tie it around. No Chanel stems or etc. I'm just using the greenery to tie it around and secure the deco mesh. So this is when it's easy, when you can just use that to secure the deco mesh instead of having to use other items. So I'm going to continue till I get to the end. Looks like I may have done about 15, maybe about 20 to 25 poofs. I didn't count them, but that's probably about the amount that I did do. But like I said, these are about 10-inch puffs, and you can also do it in 12-inch as well. I'd like to say, if you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for continuing to come back and watch another video with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope my video today inspires someone to try to make your own wreath for your door area, entryway area, or either within your home. You may see where I may be coming on doing a few wreaths for the home area, as that does save money when you can do your own sometimes. So I'm getting almost to the end, and like I said, this is a simple step. And the garland came from Walmart. Well, not Walmart, it came from Michael's. I apologize. It came from Michael's, and it was during the markdown season. So you don't have to have a standard reef frame or a standard swag to make a swag. You can use a swag that you were going to use on your mantle for Christmas or over the door swag, however you would say you want to use it. That's what you can use to create a swag for your front door area or inside area. So we're almost getting to the end, and I hope you're enjoying what I've done thus far. Um, it's an easy step, not hard to do. And the thing about it is you don't have to take any chenille stems or anything additional. All you're doing is taking the branch to tie these along the way, which makes it very simple and easy to do. I love it when you don't have to use anything to tie and you can just use branches to tie it up. It makes it so much easier and makes the progress go much, much, much faster. So we're at the end here, and what I'm doing is just making sure that poof is secured. We're almost at the end here, and once I do the last poof, I am going to cut my deco mesh at the end. And as you see, I am fluffing out this last one. Like I said, don't forget, if you are using this method, to go ahead and fluff your puffs out. You can do it at the beginning while you're doing it, or you can do it at the ending. So now, in order to make this swag, you're going to see me just make a loop, and I'm going to attach it to almost the ending of this, almost to the ending. So you'll see where this is going to eventually make a swag, as I am going to tie the branches together. So even though this was meant to be an over the door swag, during the Christmas seasons or whatever season you may want to use it, or for your mantle, you can also create a wreath or a swag with it. So now what I'm going to do is just start cutting some ribbon open, and I'm going to just start taking a look at what ribbons that I want to use. I'm not exactly sure which ones, but I brought out quite a few. Now this particular ribbon here came from the Dollar Tree. I purchased that last year sometime because I thought it was cute in the lavender color. Now this ribbon here that I'm showing you is a beautiful bunny ribbon in the pink. That came from Craft Outlet. And I do have some other ribbons that came from Craft Outlet as well, and a few Members Mark ribbon. And I absolutely love all these ribbons, and these are the ones that I am going to be choosing from. Now I wanted to go ahead and pull out a few more ribbons. As you can see, I went and pulled out some floral ribbons out of my stash, just in case I want to use one of those. But I won't be using all these ribbons. I won't be using all the ribbon. I would only be just using some of it, but I wanted to pull it out of my stash just to see what I may want to use, so I won't have to go back and forth. And of course, I didn't have any lavender deco mesh, so I went with what I had, and that is purple. I used the last lavender deco mesh I had a few days ago, so we went with purple. I think purple works absolutely good as well, and it matches and it blends in perfect with the lavender and pink. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and make a bow. I am using a bow maker. I purchased this bow maker, I want to say, from Michaels, and it was, I believe, $9.99 when I purchased it, but this has been some years ago. So I am going to start off with this 2.5-inch ribbon, where I am going to Probably do the loops about right at 6 inches. The first 4 loops right at about 6 inches or a little more. And I'm going to do 4 loops of this 2.5 ribbon because I don't have much. I've had this ribbon several years now, and I only have a small amount left, but we are going to be using what we have to create this swag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to select another ribbon to use as well. And what I like to do is I like to go ahead and I like to spread my loops out on my bow. So next, I believe that I will be using this pink ribbon, and I always put stick pins in my ribbons. I don't leave it hanging. I put stick pins, that way it can keep it together. And I don't have this ribbon on a spool, so I'm having to work with it. Next time I come on, I probably have a spool. What I did think about what was a great idea to use, I have several paper towel holders down in the cabinet that I'm not using, and I think I can actually load this ribbon onto the stems of the paper towel holder, and it will work perfectly when I'm not in my craft area crafting. And we're going to do 4 loops of this pink. Now this pink, I am doing it at about 5.5. The loops are about at 5.5. Like I said, I did the first at 6. I'm going to do this at 5.5. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that on the end, just leaving one tail of the pink at the bottom. And sometimes I like to just do one tail of each. This way I don't have too many tails hanging at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and spread these out. I love to spread it out just to see how it looks. See if they look like they're the same measurement. And we're going to go ahead and select another ribbon. I absolutely love this purple ribbon. I didn't even know I had this, guys. Y'all, I just went in my stash and I was like, I didn't know I had the pink. But sometimes you have to go look and see what you have, on hand. Don't just buy anything. Check to see what you have on hand and in stock. Now, I'm looking to see if I like this purple ribbon here that I got from the Dollar Tree on there. And I was like, I don't like that one. We're going to move forward with the next ribbon, which is going to be this one. And I'm going to be doing roughly this one I did, the other one at 5.5. I'm going to be doing this one at 5 inches. And I am going to do 4 loops as well over. And this ribbon is so cute. I was shocked to see that I had it. Because sometimes lavender is not a color that you always have on hand. But I made it my point to get some lavender ribbon, but I didn't realize that I had this. So I was kind of happy with it because I felt like this would go really, really cute with my wreath, my swag. So now we're just going to cut this. We're going to have one tail of this particular ribbon as well. And we're going to go on and select the next one. I hope you all day has been going great thus far. Mine has been going really good thus far. Today, I have enjoyed the day. I got up earlier today and did some things. And I thought about I wanted some boudin. So I went and got me some boudin. Yes, I did. I went and got me some boudin. And I sat here at the house. I got me some crackers with it. And I sat here at the house and I enjoyed it. I really wanted a Coke to go along with it. But I was like, okay, I'm trying to lay off the Cokes for a minute. So Teresa, let's not do the Coke thing. Let's not do the Coke thing. So if you have any questions on what I'm doing, you can always put it in the comments below if you have any questions. But we're going to continue with making this bow. I absolutely love how this bow is coming out so far. I love this ribbon with the pink rabbit on it. I didn't realize I had that one either. And like I say, sometimes you have to go and look and see what you have, so you won't end up going out and buying something again. So I was really happy because I didn't have to go out and buy anything. So this is going to be the last ribbon that I am going to put on there. I am going to make a little center loop, and that's probably about 2.5 to 3 inches. I'll make that center loop. And then from there we'll go ahead and we'll cut it. Now what I like to do is I either use a zip tie or a chenille stem. And in this case, I will be using both. I will be using the zip tie and also the chenille stem. And just to say, I wanted to go ahead and put the zip tie under there because I'm one of those ones that I just pick all my ribbon up and then put the zip tie on there. But for video purposes, you can, before you pull that ribbon up, you can slide it under the grooves of those two bars, and this way you don't have to worry about pulling it up and losing your ribbon. But for me, I just pull it up and I add my zip tie or I add my chenille stem. But just to make it easy for you, you can do all that before you start to pull your ribbon up. So now I'm just going to tighten up this zip tied some, and then I'm going to add a chenille stem to the back of there. And that I will use for adding or attaching the bow onto the swag. So now that I've gotten the chenille stem in, I'm going to tighten the zip tie, and as you can see, I am folding this ribbon over because when you fold it over, it makes it fluff out more. And I took my pliers and I just cut the rest of the zip tie. So now we are going to be dovetailing our ribbon. Don't forget to always dovetail your ribbon. That's something that you should do when you are making your wreath, is dovetail your ribbon. And I always try to go back and forth just to look and see if I missed any, because I have done a wreath before and I have missed it. So I always go back and go through my ribbon just to make sure I have dovetailed all of my ends. I think this bow turned out absolutely cute. I love it. I love the colors. I love the lavender. I love the pink, but I also like fluorescent pink colors also. But I love this soft color. It's really, really soft. It looks really nice. So now you're going to see me just fluffing out my ribbon, my bow. Don't be scared to fluff out your bow. I just put my little fingers in between there. I hold the back. Hold that tight so the ribbon won't move. And I just start fluffing. I start from the bottom and I work my way up to the top. And as you can see, I am pulling my ribbon again to the side where I want it to go. Now, all the time, your ribbon will not go where you want it to go in some instances. But in those cases, I just try not to make it go a certain way. I just let it flow. And it always comes out great. So I try not to move it in a different direction where it should be going, because sometimes it can make the bow look differently. So we're going to continue to fluff this bow out. I think it's turning out absolutely cute. There's many different ways you can fluff your bow. You can put your fingers in between there, fluff it out. I try to put my two fingers in there and fluff it out. So here we go. The bow is done. I absolutely love this bow. Absolutely cute bow that I will be adding to the swag. So we're going to put that to the side and we're going to bring the swag back. Now here I'll be showing you my little Easter bunny that I'll be putting on this swag. I purchased this Easter bunny from the Dollar Tree. It probably won't last long, maybe just for this spring season. Cute little bunny. I love it because it has the lavender and the pink in there. And what I did was I took the Chanel stems, I took some Velcro, some felt, and I hot glued it on to the back to attach the sign. But also, as you can see, is I took some of the ribbon off the rabbit and I added my own ribbon to it because it originally had the straw ribbon, which I took off and I placed it on the top of the ears of the rabbit, and I placed my own ribbon in the other areas where I took the ribbon off from the rabbit. So where you show the pink is, that I added to it. So now we're going to just be attaching this rabbit. But first, before I attach the rabbit, I'm going to secure the middle of this swag by just attaching a few of the branches together, not too tight, but just lightly. And this way, what it does is it secures the swag more. So we're going to be doing one more. And I believe I did about 3 attachments. And I'm showing you there in the center where I did the attachments. So now we can go ahead and we can add our sign to this swag. Like I said, I absolutely love this cute little sign that says Happy Easter. I purchased this sign from the Dollar Tree, and it probably will just last for this spring season, but next year I can always detach it and add another one. But normally when I do a wreath for a season, I must say that after that season is up, I normally just give it away. You know, sometimes I save my wreaths from Christmas time, but the majority of the time I just give it away once I take it off my door. I only use it that one time and I'll give it away. But if I feel like that I'm going to keep this wreath, what I will do is just remove the bunny from there and attach something else to it because the weather may get to the bunny after during that time. So I'm just going to continue to attach this on and secure it. And what I am doing is just securing it to the branches, folding the Chanel stem over, and then just lightly tying it around, not too tight because I don't want it to be too tight sitting up on the swag where it seems like it is squeezing the deco mesh, but I do want it to be secure enough. So we're going to continue with trying to get this on, get it secured, and as you can see, sometimes you have to push it in and you have to work with it. Because what you do want is to have it secured. You don't want it to come off or detach when you hang it on your entrance area. Okay, so we got it attached. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add this beautiful bow to the bottom. Absolutely love this bow. Like I said, if I decide to use this same wreath for some reason next year, I'll just change it around, find another sign to put on here because the ribbon and all that, it will last for several years, but I can't say if the sign will last for several years. But I absolutely love this bunny. And we're just going to secure this bow by using the chenille stem, and we're going to tie it to the branches, and that is how I secured it. Now what you can do is once you secured it, you can go ahead and fluff your bow out again, or you can wait till once you're done with your wreath. So here's a look at with the bow on there. So now I need to go ahead and I want to make a bow to put at the top of this swag. Now I was thinking that I had enough of this 2.5-inch ribbon, but as I can see, I don't have enough. This is all I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab a few pieces of ribbon, and I am going to freehand a bow for the top of my rabbit, top of my swag. And it will be different from what I had at the top. I'm just going to freehand it, and I am going to put a bow in a slant style. And I'm going to attempt to do all 3 ribbons, yes, at one time. And one reason why I like to use the bow maker, because when I use my wrist a lot like that, sometimes, it can bother your wrist when you're using it so much like that sometimes. And especially when you've done a lot of typing over the years like I have. So it's easy on the wrist when you're using the bow maker. But for this bow, I am going to freehand it, and I am going to be adding it to the swag. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a chenille stem, and I'm going to use the chenille stem to tie it together. Now you don't have to use a chenille stem to tie it together. What you can do is you can use just the branches in itself. You don't have to use the chenille stem if you don't want to. But being that I use several ribbons at one time, I'm going to go ahead and secure with that chenille stem. And I'm going to cut it there and move those to the side. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to dovetail the ribbon at the end. Because remember I said to always dovetail your ribbon. Sometimes I make short dovetails, sharp, S-H-A-R-P, and then sometimes I make them where they're not as sharp. It just all depends on how you like your ribbon dovetail. So now what we're going to do is just go ahead and add this ribbon to the top of the bunny, and as I said, I went ahead and freehanded this one, and I am going to be adding it to the side of the bunny like it's a bow, like it's a bow on the bunny's head. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that using the chenille stem, get it attached real good. Then I'm going to come back and fluff it out. I think this is going to turn out absolutely cute, budget friendly, on a budget, especially when you already have items at the house. And just remember, you don't have to go out and break the bank to do a wreath swag for your home. There is Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has some great ribbon that you can purchase and use. And like I said, if you have a swag around the house from the Christmas season where you were going to use on the door, you used some of it, didn't use it all, you can always use that. Now what you see me here is just taking out some ribbon because I want to make a few bows to put on the side of the swag. And I will be making several different bows, just attaching it to the side of the swag. I won't be using chenille stems. I'll just be attaching it with the with the swag from the with the swag. I'll just be attaching it with that greenery. I won't be using the Chanel stem. And then of course I'll go ahead and dovetail them. And we'll just be doing several of these throughout the wreath, and we'll be dovetailing. As you can see, I've done a purple one here, and I'll come back with some different colors. And what I do to one side, I will be doing it to the other side. So if I add purple and a bow to this side, I will be adding it to the other side. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get and add another bow. We will be adding it to the other side. Like I say, what I do on one side, I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other side. Tell me what you think about this swag. Tell me what you think about it. I think it's coming out absolutely cute. I love, like I say, I love that little bunny. You know, this year I will be using that. Like I said, next year, who knows? I may switch up, or I may keep the same one and just add another sign to it. Or you don't have to do that. You can just add bows and be done. So let's get this ribbon dovetail. Cute, cute, cute. I must say cute, cute, cute. And like I said, I wish that I had some lavender deco mesh, but we are using, like I said, what we have on hand. We are not going to break the bank. We are using what we have on hand. And you see here I am opening up a different color floral. I am going to add some of this little hot pink here just because I like hot pink. And just something just to make it pop. So we will be adding this just to give it some flavor, some contrast to this swag. And like I said, I will be taking the branches to attach this. I will not be using Chanel stems. You don't have to use Chanel stems. You can just simply use the branch to attach it. I'm really liking what I've done so far. I hope you like what I am doing to it so far. And I hope that you are inspired to try this particular swag, this particular system, using just a swag from the Christmas season that you may have left over. Simple, easy way to make a swag. Something that you already may have in the home. And once again, it's not breaking the bank. It's on a budget. Because we all know the little sign on here came from the Dollar Tree, and we all know that was $1.25. So once again, we're not breaking the bank. Now you may only be able to use this sign just this year, and if you decide to keep this wreath, you may have to get you another sign the next year. But for $1.25, we're not breaking the bank, and I think we're doing a great job on a budget. So now you're going to see me. I got some pics that I will be adding, guys. I'm showing you the pics that I have in different colors. I thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. Many blessings to each one of you and your family. I'm going to go ahead and add these picks, and I'm going to bring you back, and I am going to show you the final look of this wreath. I'm adding the pink, purple, white picks as well. And I will be adding this with my hot glue gun. So let me go ahead and let me get this finished up, and I'll bring you back with the finished results.
You say take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard the fairies when they sing and dance? Oh, I wish it was me every night. When I close my eyes, I see